Yeah, it was something like that.
So epic and powerful.
Oh, it's pretty cool. And I apologize to everybody before we begin because you're probably not used to looking straight at my face anymore. But our dog decided to break the thing that I'd been keeping my camera on, so here we are. Well, I get to
Yeah,
show off. I get to show off my cool new flag. So there's that, I guess.
yeah. Dustin's part of the Brotherhood.
Well, I mean, we can't trust you with the technology.
Fucking enclave for life, baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a
Uh,
post-apocalyptic bootlicker. Got no
well,
shame.
I mean, I guess technically I'd be too, because the Brotherhood's technically the cops, right?
Like a private security force is what I would
Yeah, the boots
consider them.
taste the same, really.
Yeah, they all suck.
Same boot, different foot.
That's right.
We'll say that.
If you're licking feet, then
Then,
we got
hey,
problems.
we won't kink shame.
We won't. I will.
The views of Boo Boo are not necessarily those of the Everyday History podcast.
That just needs to be part of the title.
Hey, Roadhouse.
Hello, Roadhouse.
We're giving a little bit of time because, well, this won't be on the podcast that we will air next Friday, on the Spotify and all that. But we're having a little cushion here because Paul the Mad Hatter is going to be airing us live after the reset. I don't know how long it takes for a reset there. Sometimes
That's right.
it varies.
Can't even escape our voice in the solace of a video game.
No.
You are gonna hear
We are
us.
all but forcing ourselves on your ears. That could have gone very wrong. I tried to fix it, but
You saved it. You saved it.
on your ears.
Right.
Hey,
In your
Rob.
What's going on, Rob? Good to see you, brother. It's the
So I
infamous
think this will.
Botzilla.
I think this will be a fun podcast. By the way, this episode in particular. By the way,
This
since
episode was written for me.
after months of you begging me,
After on-air performance, I don't even smoke when I'm not on camera.
I think honestly though, you did ask me about I think one of us brought it up months ago, and ever since then, occasionally you'll bring it up. Sometimes aggressively. And one time aggressively. Yeah, I felt threatened. I gave you my lunch money, and we moved on. But no, it wasn't really like that. But I was going to say, well, since we're going to be cutting part of this out anyway as we wait, going to mention, if you haven't already, I'm sure most of the people here are already because you're good people and you use your left and right turn signals. Go ahead and like and subscribe, follow us on here. Also, I haven't pitched this in a very long time, but if you'd like to check out our Patreon, I'm thinking about adding some stuff pretty soon. There's a free tier, so don't feel like you're getting ripped off if I don't. You'll never even hear from us if I don't. But yeah, I'm planning on doing some stuff with that eventually, soon. Hopefully, if I got more time. Let me adjust this because I don't like the way it looks.
Who has the time, man?
Don't like the way that looks either.
You work a full-time job.
No, I don't.
No.
No.
Okay, maybe you don't, but you work.
I,
You've got your
eh.
feet dipped in many projects. I won't
That's
name
more
them here.
accurate. I've got a lot
Out
of
of
projects
respect.
going on.
What else? We're at war now. That's I don't know if you guys heard the news, but
Yeah, we're fighting each other.
yeah.
Me and Boo going to war. Oh, you were talking about real world. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Were we ever
Sucky,
not?
scary world. No, but I don't know. That's not
I
what
guess,
this episode is about.
Well,
but
I guess it wasn't distracting enough. But moving on.
release the files.
The Magnolia Files.
Release the files.
That was so dumb. I loved it.
Magnolia files.
Oh, well, what do you think? Are we probably good to go here?
I don't know. We would give it to. Let's see. I see my little timer here
yeah,
says
yeah.
14:30. So once we hit 15, we'll just fucking jump in.
Okay, that sounds good.
Like
Anything
a
you
couple
wanna
of
add?
loons. Well, we missed you guys last week. Like
Oh,
I
yeah,
said
yeah.
in
Sorry
the
about
Discord,
that.
Yeah, we had a little snafu in the studio, but obviously, as you can see by our faces and our sexy voices, we are back, better than ever, baby.
Albeit from a different angle, but
Right? We got the frontal,
we'll work
not
on
the
that. We'll
dynamic,
work on that.
not the 3/4 side profile.
Part of the delay last week, or the reason we postponed, is because I am trying to redo the studio. I just found out that if you try to do it the day you're supposed to record, there's a lot more things involved than you think. So it ended up being a mess, and it just wouldn't work out. So I was like, you know what? We've been really consistent with the show. I think we can take 1 week off, and there was rioting. There was people died.
We do apologize for that.
So yeah, so we're going to start doing it more often.
We realized the blood's on our hands, and we regret nothing.
And now we've got the bloodlust, and it just happens.
Feels
So
good.
So no, we're these things happen, but we're all here now, and everything's good. Nothing was really wrong.
Yeah.
It was just frustrating more than anything else for
And the
me.
astute listener will have realized the last time we were on, we said see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, that I
Little
think
breadcrumb trail.
should be edited in there by now.
See you next Tuesday. Super robotic voice, like the talk to speech. Fucking.
See you next Tuesday. Let's hit this goddamn
God.
intro. Yeah.
Do it.
That gets the blood pumping.
Yes, it's been too long since I've heard that beautiful, glorious theme song.
I listened to it 6 times before we started. Anyway, no, I didn't really do that. That'd be kind of
6, 7.
be obsessive. Yeah, I should have said 6, 7.
That's okay.
Yeah, today we're talking about the history of. Go ahead and show everybody.
Let's see.
Oh, I thought you had one in your
Today's
hand.
sponsor. Today's sponsor.
Today's-
No, I just put it out.
Today's sponsor,
is
and by that we mean we are in no way sponsored by any cigarettes.
I mean,
today's
no
sponsor-
real affiliation, but
No, but fueled by. We'll say fueled by.
right.
It's
right.
like Celsius's, C4s, and cigarettes.
That sounds
that's-
like that sounds right.
That's the fuel of the show.
Right. That's
Sometimes
the
coffee.
trifecta that keeps this fucking show rolling.
Sometimes coffee, like when you got to get that caffeine fix, but you don't need the high octane. I feel like coffee's less high octane, but anyway, neither here nor there.
It gets you on the back end though, because it gives you, I don't know about you, maybe it's just me, but coffee compared to energy drinks, I gotta piss drinking either one, right? But
Oh, yeah,
coffee
yeah.
always makes me have to poo. And I
Violently.
don't like that bit too much.
Violent.
Yeah,
All right,
violently.
not really violently.
Violently. No,
maybe some
violently.
of us. No, it doesn't really for me, but it does make me piss a little bit more. Not as much as the Celsius. I've already pissed like 6 times since I got home because Celsius, for some reason,
Yeah.
probably because it's a toxin and I'm putting it in my body. But I like it.
Your body's trying desperately to just get this shit out of me,
It's like,
please.
please stop drinking that shit.
Your kidneys are screaming like, I cannot process this shit, sir. You're killing us.
That's pretty accurate. Speaking of things that'll
What
kill
is
you, we're talking about cigarettes today.
Boom.
Oh, boom. There was a time. I'm going to do my little spiel here, as I've been trying to do. There was a time when doctors recommended them. There was a time when soldiers were given them with breakfast. There was a time when movie stars couldn't appear on the screen without one. Cigarettes have been medicine, rebellion, war ration, fashion accessory, political weapon, corporate scandal, public health nightmare, and a marketing masterclass. They helped invent modern mass production. We'll get there. They also shaped advertising as we know it, and they sparked the largest civil settlement in American history. And as I read that, I'm just realizing that, oh my God, I may not have included that. But we'll get there.
It's fucking.
Oh,
It's just little details, man. It's no big deal.
it's only one of the biggest settlements of all time. But it's. I feel like we should definitely point this out before we get really into this. We are not going over the history of tobacco necessarily. We're going over the history of the cigarette form. So I don't want anyone to think that, oh, we're going to learn the entire history of tobacco and then I skip over it, and might feel a little cheated.
Right. That is what's happening, but not.
Um,
That's
yeah, but I'm trying to make sure they know I'm cheating them. I don't want them to just.
right. If you tell someone first, then you can't get
Yeah,
mad.
it's like I like to say, if I'm going to lie to you, at least I'll be honest about it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm the most honest liar you'll ever meet.
I'm the most honest, dishonest person you've ever met in all your days.
Honestly.
I will tell you bullshit straight up. I
And then
tell it
let
like
you know
it
I'm doing
is.
it.
I tell it. I bend the truth like it is.
I tell it like it is, even when it isn't. Oh. But you see, long before we had corporations that would shill out tobacco or, cigarettes or cigars or Black and Milds or whatever those are. Those cigarillos, is that what they're called?
Uh,
Black and Mild style, the big, thick, not
yeah,
quite
yeah.
not a cigarette, not quite a cigar, closer to the cigarette on size, but like if someone packed 50 cigarettes into a little brown wrapping, that's basically a cigarillo, right?
500 cigarettes.
500 cigarettes in one. Lung busters is what I remember we called them in high school. And I didn't smoke them in high school because, I was a good kid.
Right. I
Um,
did. I started my career early on.
with
We'll
the
get
cigarettes or with the cigarillos?
I've never really been one for cigarillos or cigars.
There was a
Until you're
time
not
in my
supposed to
life where I
inhale.
thought that felt fancy at one time in my life, the cigarillos, but they were not. They weren't. They were like $1. There's nothing fancy
They're
about
affordable.
it. There's nothing fancy about an 89-cent cigar. They were great for cutting open, and you could stuff weed in. Anyway,
What you reading there?
so the Mesoamerican civilizations, such as the Maya, used tobacco in ritual contexts as early as the 9th century. So, of course, tobacco goes before this, but this is where it started to kind of evolve because of the way they smoked it. You see, for most of civilization, it was chewed. The leaves would be chewed, kind of like a leaf being chewed. I don't know where I was going with that, but
I
and I'm
was
sure
thinking the same thing.
and I'm sure it was smoked too in some way, but it wasn't really until that we found evidence of this kind of thing used for ritual. They would use reeds and primitive pipes, so it was not like a paper, but they'd smoke it in these pipes. And the interesting thing I've found was the way they'd smoke them. So I'm not looking at my camera right now. I was going to say, are you smoking right now? Because you could demonstrate. We smoke like that.
Whoa. Yes.
Uh,
Like
uh,
such.
for
Got
for
one
those,
locked and ready to go.
in case you've never seen how a cigarette's smoked, Boo Boo's going to demonstrate now.
All right. You first put it in mouth. Light. Suck. Release. Inhale if you like. I don't like to inhale the first puff of a cigarette. I don't know why, but I just don't.
It's part of your religious ceremony, maybe.
I'm beholden to my addiction at this point, and it's a fact about myself that I just accept. I'll tell you something sad. I've spent more of my life smoking cigarettes than not, which is fucking crazy because I'm not even 30 yet.
Oh, that's
Yeah, but-
wild. Wow, that's wild when you say that.
That's a long fucking time, dude.
I don't have a way to demonstrate this, but the way they would smoke theirs, these pipes, as they called them, I don't know if they actually called them that, but they would.
Got one of those around here. What's here?
Oh, not those pipes, not those pipes. But it was basically like reeds or wood. They'd take the plant and hollow it out, or if it was already hollow, but they would actually inhale it through their nostrils. So yeah, imagine hitting your cigarette through the nostril. And please don't demonstrate that. This is not Jackass.
about to say, do we do it for the camera? Or
No, I wouldn't.
no? I know
But
blowing cigarette smoke out of your nose fucking sucks. It's
but it
just a,
looks
it's
really
unpleasant.
badass.
Oh yeah, you look like a dragon.
Yeah, yeah. It's important to note too. The reason I'd say don't do that, is because also this was natural tobacco, and not mixed in with whatever the fuck is in cigarettes now. So, at least an important note. An
Nasty
important
stuff.
note. They did this for many centuries, and it wasn't until it wasn't exposed to the outside world. Excuse me. That brutal, sadistic shitface named Christopher Columbus arrived in the Caribbean in 1492. And if anyone wants to argue with me on whether or not he was a bad person or not, I'm not going to say that he didn't accomplish anything in his life, but we could go over what a person
And
Christopher
then
Columbus was.
Christopher Columbus is a strong Italian hero.
That's part of the problem. That really
Thanks,
is part of it.
Italians.
That really is part of the
Italian
reason that he
Americans.
became kind of. I'm not going to blame all of them. Some of them are okay. None of them smell great. No, I'm joking. But yeah, he was kind of. Anyway, he arrived in the Caribbean in 1492, and he and his crew were offered dried tobacco leaves. They first observed the natives inhaling smoke through rolled leaves and cane tubes, sugar cane tubes. I assume because I just put cane tubes. I think it was sugar. Anyway, they brought them back to Spain and Portugal, and Jean Nicot, the French ambassador to Portugal, introduced it to the French court in the 1560s. He, interestingly enough, is what nicotine is named after. His last name was Nicot. Nicot. So
Yes, I am.
the early Europeans believed tobacco had medicinal value, that it would cure headaches, stomach pain, and even the plague. Not everyone agreed with
Wow.
that. Not everyone agreed with that. Took a while,
Like,
but
that doesn't sound right.
in 1604, King James I of England published a counterblast to tobacco, condemning smoking as a custom loathsome to the eye. And
There must be a bit of there's a bit of a delay on this.
for the chat.
I think the people watching are probably like a 20-second delay, something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll pull up YouTube and see. By the way, you can listen to us if you're listening to the Spotify right now. You can find us on
God
YouTube at 6 p.m. every Tuesday, and
Except for last Tuesday.
except for last Tuesday, and you can join in the chat. Let me see. How do we do this? Oh yeah, we go here. We go here, and then we go here. That way I can keep up live with these comments that I don't really feel like reading.
Yeah, it's better with weed smoke. That
Oh, that makes sense. That makes
yuck.
sense. Oh, did you take a nose inhale while I wasn't looking?
The French inhale. Paul
Oh,
brought it to
the French
attention.
inhale. What's a French inhale? Oh, the nose
It's,
inhale.
mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm having a hard time pulling. There we go. Then I'll get back into our stuff here. All right. Okay. Come on, nothing is harmful in cigarettes. Come on, guys.
No, I feel great all the time.
Let me go run. Let me go run a mile real quick, as I do every day.
Right, this
But
is peak physical health.
you may not like it. Well, also after publishing this counterblast to tobacco, he also raised tobacco prices or taxes by 4,000%.
Oh my God.
Now, did
Sure.
this? Now, as you would imagine, this stopped people from smoking immediately.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it did not. It did not. Just like today, it did not.
I wonder if they said the same thing. Like, goddamn, shit's expensive. I remember back when this was fucking just one hay penny.
Sacre bleu. Oh wait, this was England. Never mind. We're not gonna do the English.
Can you fucking believe it? It's fucking
Right,
fucking
expensive,
£2
isn't
for a
it?
pack of cigarettes. Fucking, what's next? Fucking £5?
£5. Let's see. Lost my place.
Workhouse.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did. She said, I did smoke, but gave up in 2009 before my first son. Could still pick one up every day and start again. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, good
I
for
in
you.
no
I'll
way
take some-
advocate for smoking cigarettes. It's gross and expensive and offensive, and I love it. No, I don't really.
That's kind of with the price, with the exception of the expensive. That's kind of us in a nutshell. Gross,
Right.
offensive,
Gross. Offensive. Expensive.
expensive. Some would say. Anyway,
I couldn't argue that. But some
no,
might
I'd
say.
have a hard time arguing because I don't know what it means. Anyway, by the 17th century, the 1600s into the 1700s, tobacco had taken Europe by storm. It was smoked in pipes, inhaled in pipes, used as snuff, like they packed their lip, and chewed. And early cigarette-like rolls began appearing around this time in Spain and Italy, but they were often made
look-
from cigar scraps.
I don't mean to be that guy that's like, technically, but
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna be that guy for a second.
Oh,
because
no.
I think when they're referring to snuff back then, they're referring to the fine powder, and it was snorted.
Oh, okay, you might be right, because I was wondering why I word it like that. I put inhaled
fucking-
as snuff, and it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Okay, I remember that now. Oh, Jesus, that's a weird
Fucking, I sniff it, I chew it, I smoke it.
for some reason, even though I wrote that and everything, and even put the inhaled. I should have put snorted, but I put inhaled because that's what the source I was reading said. And I'm still stuck on how we use it now. So I just thought it was packed. Anyway,
Okay, so 20. Jeez.
25 pounds a pack in Europe today.
Let's see. And a pound is about 75 cents here in America. So that is
It's a lot.
uh, times 0.75. Damn, dude. It's like it's almost $19. That's fucking
Oh
insane.
wow! I'm just gonna say I've never dipped snuff ever, never. But if we could inhale it, I might.
Right? If you could just pack that
It's-
snuff, dry it out first, put it in
It's
a tea.
it's the
Put a
not
filter on the
liking
end of it.
things. I don't like things in my lip like that. I just don't think I could do it. Like if something
I
gets
used to
stuck,
Like, in a couple years. That shit burns. It burns the lip. You
Does
get
it?
You get the gator lip. Yeah,
the
fuck
gator
yeah,
lip.
dude. Gator lip. Yeah, you get like this raw if you do it for a long time. And I think it's safe to say that people who dip snuff, they got their favorite spot for where to put said snuff. And that
makes sense.
That lining of the mouth is just a little bit more coarse and bumpy.
Oh, the alligator mouth.
Gator lip, baby.
Gator lip. Yeah, I messed it up already. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, the stuff was snorted as it was a dry, fine powder, and it was also chewed, which is kind of similar to, not really, but I'm trying to redeem myself here. Like I was saying though, the early cigarette rolls appeared in Spain and Italy, and they were often made from cigar scraps that were wrapped in paper or corn husks. So it was basically the rich people smoked cigars. Poor people couldn't afford cigars. They'd find these, the butts of a cigar, and they just scrape it out and smoke that. That has to be terrible.
Been there. Been there.
Yeah, but that was the ancestor of the modern cigarette, and in 1761, but like 60 some years later, one of the first earliest recorded medical warnings about tobacco was issued by Dr. John Hill, who was able to link snuff, the snorted kind, to nasal cancer.
Oh, wow.
And as you would imagine, being an esteemed doctor of his time, he was thrown into jail and beaten with reeds daily for his heresy. No, he wasn't done with like that, I don't think, but it would take over 2 centuries for anyone to ever listen to that. It was basically ignored. So, good old American ignoring.
Right. We'll get that.
He wasn't American. I can't say that. I don't know where he was from. It was 1761, so we didn't have an America yet. We might have had one back home, but we weren't going to get it. Not where we're out in town like that.
Was that point in time where we were the colonies already?
Yeah.
Was he a colonial?
Yeah, because it was like 16 years later, or 15 years later. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to multitask and it's not working. I wanted to see if I could find anything on Dr. John Hill, because I didn't even think to do that earlier, and the poor man didn't even have a Wikipedia page.
Right, history buried that fucking guy.
No, I had something on him earlier, but it didn't really go into his life story. I had his name, but that was about it. And this. Anyway, so yeah. So in the 1800s, Industrial Revolution kind of changed things for us. That's where, factories began to be a thing, and France actually began to make cigarettes. This wasn't really a thing. It was 1847. Then they started mass producing cigarettes as a way for everyone to enjoy that sweet tobacco.
Like rich or poor, young or old, smoke.
Smoke,
we got them. They're never running out.
Cigarette. In the same year, one of the first machines, cigarette making machines, was patented by a Mexican inventor named Juan Adorno. I don't know why I said his name like it was Italian. But he patented the first one. It wasn't really a great one, but it was, there was nothing prior to this. So it was the first, so it was, I'm sure, wow. It would take almost 40 years later for the first real breakthrough to come through in 1881 when, I love this guy's name, James Albert Bonsack.
Yes.
Yeah, Bonsack. Patented a cigarette rolling machine. This is pretty impressive, all jokes aside. Before this thing was invented, the average worker in a cigarette factory could roll 4 cigarettes per minute. That's pretty damn impressive if you've ever tried rolling your own cigarettes. I don't know if you've ever tried that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's pretty impressive to do 4 a minute. This machine could do 200 per minute. So, over 4 million cigarettes per day were possible with this machine. They him and another guy who, I forget what exactly he was. I think he owned a cigarette. James Buck Duke. He owned a cigarette company. Don't think they're around anymore. But he partnered with Bonsack, and they negotiated rights. And basically, he created the first cigarette production monopoly. He basically was like the only one who could have this machine. But there was a whole lawsuit where he had to share, basically. But the interesting thing with him is he didn't just mass produce, this Duke guy. He mass marketed. He placed cigarette ads in restaurants and bars and newspapers, even putting collectible cards inside of cigarette packs. Red Dead Redemption 2 has this.
Oh, yeah.
But he basically created modern brand loyalty using his advertising. So, in a way, cigarettes were kind of the father of modern advertising. The way that he did these things. 1800, what's that? I'm going to try to find, because I feel like I condensed this more than I should have.
Like Paul said, when he was a kid, all the tough old ladies dip snuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the tough old broads.
yeah. My ex-wife's grandma dip snuff, that powdered shit.
My
Just a little
granddad did.
tiny, had a little baby spoon with the, she put it on the corner of her lip. I always looked like there was shit on the corner of her lip.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen that. Oh, I
The
spelled this
cup
guy's
full of
name.
napkins for her, her styrofoam spittoon.
Hell yeah. That's there's a man's man. That's a man's woman right there.
Damn right. Snake from Metal Gear smoked. He was cool. True.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
Skylar the Snake.
He did, didn't he? That was like one of the first
But
games
yeah,
I remember playing where they I think you could actually actively smoke in it.
yeah, you just
And
equip the cigarettes and like your health would
yeah,
go down.
and I felt like I was such a badass because I was sneaking. Well, shouldn't be doing this.
Right. I have the option to smoke. That's cool.
I hope my mom
There's
doesn't
a lot
walk
of
in.
cool looking guys that fucking smoked, you know. I think
Oh
it's part of
yeah.
that image.
If you're watching, if you're here with the live stream, go there. It is, of course. Why don't I just check my history? Go ahead and drop in the comments who's the coolest cigarette smoker you've ever seen.
Yeah, name one iconic person you can think of who smoked.
Name a better duo than blank and cigarettes.
While you're
Okay.
at it, smoker current or X, tell us what was your preferred brand?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because we probably shouldn't be pitching brands on here.
Fuck 'em.
Let's see. I'm trying to
They're
find.
making no money. If anything, we're fucking driving them away by talking about cigarettes.
Oh, okay, okay. He was the founder of the American Tobacco Company, which
Okay.
was a company founded in 1890. It's basically a merger of a bunch of different U.S. tobacco manufacturers, including a bunch of others that have blue letters on their Wikipedia pages. The American Tobacco Company dominated the industry by acquiring the Lucky Strike Company and over 200 other rival firms. Damn, they were huge. They
I do like
what
I do
happened to
like
them?
me some
Some LSs.
yeah. I'm a Lucky Strike man at heart, but the wallet says nay. Let's see.
The
Trade
wallet
price.
says nay.
Homie the clown dog. What's up, man? He said Clint Eastwood and those cigars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You feeling lucky punk? Huh? Are you?
I immediately thought of him in the westerns, the good and the good, the bad, and the ugly. There was a couple others. They were all like part of a series, right? Is that how that worked?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right. So, whatever happened? Because they're still around, right?
Paul said Clint made me chew a cigar thinking I'd look like him. I was like 5. I barfed.
I think a lot of people had that similar experience with the cigars.
Yeah, I think my first well, my parents smoked. Everybody in my house smoked, as was the style at the time. Not roll down windows, not give a shit about things like ventilation, fresh air,
What secondhand
other
smoke? I'm using it in my one hand.
right? Ain't no secondhand smoke, boy.
Oh, let me
Um,
see. There's something.
I
While you're
remember
doing that, I'm gonna try to find this.
my dad took me fishing one time, and the nets were really bad out by the pond, and he had this big fucking stinking ass cigar. And he's like, "Here, boy, puff on this. It'll keep the flies away." Like, I
Was that
look
your
so fucking cool right now.
Was that your first one?
Yeah, I was the first. You know, secondhand smoke. Let me say this. I think that kids that grow up in a house of smokers obviously are more likely to smoke. Either they love it or hate it. You know, I don't know. I think that's the real introduction. All the secondhand smoke. You know what I mean? Because there's no way you're not like, just like if you smoke weed in a closed room, someone might get a contact high. So it's not so far fetched to think that like I'm inhaling that cigarette and I'm getting addicted. Oh, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis,
Fuck
yeah.
Marlboro Red shorts, hard packs. Yeah,
It would be cool if we could smoke in DayZ. It would be.
it would be cool. I think it just add to the immersion.
It's one of the things that drives me crazy about Red Dead Redemption, and I know I've told you about this because we joke about it a lot. How Arthur will take a drag and then just
Yeah.
one long drag, and it's fun.
Now, like in GTA Online, you can smoke in that game, and for as long as
Online?
you push the button down, yeah, if you play GTA Online, you can just hold the button down and your dude will smoke for as long as, I think either the cigarette goes out or as long as you hold it. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. By the way, the American Tobacco Company was forced to dissolve in 1911 due to violations of the Antitrust Act. This was basically because he bought up all of his competitors almost, and it was just
Okay.
not, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good look. So what happened out of that, I'm not even going to try to get into because it's going to be a lot of legal jargon I don't understand. But yeah, he basically did,
You both are
create it.
uncultured. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
We are.
So,
We might be
yeah.
like, it might be like a whole minute delay at this point.
Could be.
Right, because I'm hearing out in the other room. He's got it on. I can hear the part about the secondhand smoke that we just talked about.
And it's showing up on the YouTube for me about the same time it is on this. So it's some type of delay. I don't. Facebook was having problems earlier today. I don't know if that means that YouTube and some others are having some issues.
Yeah,
But either way.
we're here for it either way.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So, he created with with this whole super cigarette machine creator. Fuck that up. He basically started the first cigarette production monopoly and maybe one of the first modern monopolies. On top of that, oh, not necessarily one of the first, but still, it was a huge thing. Because of this, he could also drop his prices and cut out his competition. He had nationwide distribution, modern brand competition. It was a whole thing. Like he just basically what Henry Ford did for cars, he did for cigarettes. And Henry Ford may have gotten some ideas from this.
So how can I take this and just apply it to cars?
Now I can't prove that, but I wasn't there, so.
If there were some
Just
of the
saying.
first mass-produced items,
Yeah.
you got to at least give credit where it's due for being pioneers of sorts.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think that the mother of advertising is cigarettes.
Where was that? Oh, yeah. So, World War One. Cigarettes were included in soldiers' rations. They became symbols of comfort. And more importantly, masculinity and patriotism.
Fuck yeah, I'm a man because I smoke. Watch me spit this hunk of phlegm 5 miles away.
Is it supposed to be brown? Yeah.
Yes, it is. The browner, the manlier.
That means my
And if it
nuts
looks
drop,
like
boy.
tar, you're an alpha man.
Nuts to the knees. 1913, R.G. Reynolds introduced Camels with a massive national ad campaign. And there was more to that, but I can't remember it.
Joe Camel was a cool motherfucker.
Joe Camel was cool. And that it was, if I'm remembering correctly, because I'm going to give a podcast a shout out here because some of this, the reason I decided to go ahead and do this episode is because I listened to a rerun of Behind the Bastards, which is a really cool podcast if you haven't listened to it. And they did one on basically cigarettes, and not like this. They did it more about the people behind it. It wasn't about, the history of the cigarette. It was just more of the people. And when they came to this, they broke down the whole thing. It was another one of those advertising things, and I thought I would remember some stuff that I could, introduce in my own words, and I can't remember it now. But the Camel thing, it was a whole. It was a great advertising campaign that they did because it wasn't really expected to succeed. Because they were introducing these as exotic. They were Turkish blend tobacco. Turkish blend, and I don't think it was actually Turkish.
You're like,
but
what business does a camel have smoking?
Right, and then you see Joe Camel, and you say, I get it.
That's a cool dude.
That's one cool dude. And you know what? I'm gonna see if I can find. Well, I don't know why I expect myself to remember things sometimes.
While you're doing that, I feel bad, and I'll read a couple of these comments, even though we are delayed. We are seeing your comments. It's just, like you're posting them as you're hearing this stuff. So by the time I'm reading them here, I mean it's already been, I don't know how long. But
and plus, the way we are, we're not going to remember. we don't know what we're talking about. That's clear.
Not really. I mean, I know how to smoke a cigarette. I hang with the best.
And you taught us. You showed us.
I did. I came to teach.
If you want to go ahead and read off some of those comments, I found what I was looking for. I read over this a couple of days ago, and I should have done it earlier too.
Paul said, "My mom would blow smoke in my face and wake me up as a teen. And when I was little, they would blow smoke in my ears for ear infections. Did it work? Fuck if I know." Yeah. I'm going to go with no, but maybe. Definitely not in today's parenting. You'd get fucking...
Right, yeah.
Who knows?
And, can't anymore because woke.
Right. He also said, best cigarette is what I call the freedom cigarette. It's that first puff you take as soon as you get out of jail. Hits different.
Oh, okay.
Not that I know from experience, just what I heard. Yeah, I've heard that too from somebody. I've never had the freedom cigarette, but I have had the. I'd say the after dinner cigarette is probably my favorite. Yeah, you got your belly full.
Something about that just hits like a disgusting dessert. It
settles the stomach. Or the driving cigarette. I really enjoy the driving cigarette.
The driving cigarette.
Don't get many of those these days, but that's okay.
Do you still get the head rush from the first one of the morning?
No.
Oh, really?
Haven't for a long time, yeah.
Maybe you should go cold for a couple of days. I wouldn't. No.
Yeah.
I feel like you have the potential to be a very grumpy man if that was the case.
I would. I don't want to be that. I'd rather be the stinky cigarette smelling man than the angry dickhead who's putting other people down who smoke because I secretly still want to smoke.
You feel like you'd be that guy?
No.
I wouldn't want to be that guy. Would you? Nah.
I don't think that's what I'd default to. I do think that's what I'd be for the sake of just because I'm a bastard. And it'd be funny.
or if you had not picked it up, maybe you'd be that guy. Like just
hard
just
to say.
out of. Yeah.
This was the fate I was always bound to. I think.
I couldn't see you as an asshole, so I just have a hard time imagining it.
Yeah, probably not. Probably just.
If you had to quit, you'd probably be a little snippier, right? And I'd be hitting that Boo Boo's bullshit like every 5 seconds, but.
It's just a little short these days. He's, he doesn't have much patience.
Anyway.
Someone give him a fucking cigarette.
Try these. Let's see, where was I going with this? Is that all the comments so far? A few times.
Yeah, that's all the comments. I've tried once or twice to quit.
It's hard.
Well... I think the first time someone bought me a pack, and I was like, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, then you're an asshole either way.
Right. It's like, I do want it.
And they spent their hard-earned money.
Right. Shit's not cheap.
Well,
They're not going to
What's one more? What's one more?
Right. This is the last pack, I said. And here we are, 10 years later.
Famous last words. Is that all the comments we got so far? I think I don't know if I asked you. I know I said it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're all caught up.
Okay. So during the time of the when Camel first came around, they were blended to have a milder taste than the already established blends. That was kind of their thing. Was that they weren't as harsh as the other cigarettes, and they started advanced promoting this stuff by releasing a very, very calculated campaign that included little teasers stating that the Camels are coming, which sounds completely stupid out of context, but it's a play on an old Scottish folk song called "The Campbells Are Coming." So, and it was also this time that they introduced the circus camel, Old Joe.
Oh
It was an actual
God.
camel. An actual camel that they
Did he
would
wear
ride through
sunglasses?
towns. No, he was actually blind, and he kept running into buildings. It was a whole fiasco. No, that didn't really happen.
That's right. You just see the camel. You feel sorry for him. You know he's blind because he's been smoking. Again, what business does a camel have smoking?
And they beat 4 of them to death. It was just a different time. No, it didn't really happen.
When men were men.
They used a slogan, I'd walk a mile for a camel. That was their slogan for decades. And it was also unfiltered. As
Camels are not bad cigarettes.
as was the style at the time. Sold in a soft pack, and they were called Camel Straights or regulars. A news broadcaster, news broadcaster named Edmund Morrow, who was pretty famous. He was so fond of them that he smoked them so heavily and so publicly that it was basically his trademark. The no filters Camel was his thing.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I felt like there was some more interesting stuff, but I really can't remember it. So yeah, there's Camel. We'll just stop right there instead of just turning this into 15 minutes of me looking for what I read
all
earlier.
cigarettes unfiltered at that time?
That's a handsome question, sir. Let me.
Allow me to deflect and move on to something else.
So about the cigarettes. I can't type and talk at the same time today. When did cigarettes get filtered? So let's ask the Goog.
Hello, Goog.
Oh, in 1925, when a Hungarian inventor applied for a patent. The widespread adoption of filtered cigarettes did not start until the 1950s, mainly because of the health concerns. So, the first successful filtered cigarette, I don't know why it's wording like that. I guess maybe the first time it was actually useful was in 1954 when Winston produced it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Which if I had to, I mentioned it in the very, very, very next category. I should have just looked ahead. Anyway, they had the Camel thing. They had a massive national ad campaign. Let's see. In the 1920s, late 1920s, they kind of started to use cigarettes. I wrote this to be silly, as torches of freedom, if you will, because it was a symbol. It became a symbol of female empowerment. Women began to smoke. That wasn't really a big thing before. That was a man's. You had to have a dick to smoke. Everyone knew that, and so when women began to do it, people got really confused. Did these women have dicks? That was the big question, and no one really had an answer. So Virginia Slims were invented, and they thought maybe this would solve things. We'll give the women their own thing.
This dainty little cigarette.
Yeah, a dainty cigarette for a dainty figured lady, for a nice lady. They couldn't handle those you've seen the Camel Wides, right?
Oh yeah.
No, there ain't no way a woman could handle that. So Virginia Slims were the way to go, and they had this slogan called "You've come a long way, baby." Advertising and cigarettes go together like penises and donuts, I guess. So
Right, the holes there.
The hole's there, and
on
it
you.
fits. It fits.
Right.
How
On
many
you
can
to
you
do
fit?
that.
That's just stupid.
I can
so-
stack a whole donut and a half on it.
Half. Which half?
Yes.
Oh god damn it. So yeah, that's just another example of how cigarettes were a example of personality, or identity, really. Because you had earlier on, you had when the soldiers, that was part of the whole thing with it's masculine, it's patriotic, and now
Yeah.
women are using it as ways to show that they're not going to take it. They want their own
Hey,
cigarettes.
you just want to emulate men.
Yeah. That's what it was. No, I'm joking. I'm not joking. I am. Non-filters are good, Paul says.
Cigarette.
Lucky Strikes were unfiltered, I believe, Paul says. Probably. I think I've heard that before.
I've never had the pleasure of trying a real unfiltered cigarette.
Do
You
we
know,
even have unfiltered cigarettes in America anymore?
Yeah, I don't know that. I know I've torn the filter off of my cigarettes before. 'Cause,
Oh.
I think every smoker's done that dumb thing where they fucking light up the wrong end.
Oh, yeah.
And the way
Especially if
those
you're drinking.
filters burn. Oh yeah. The way those filters burn too, man, they stink. You know there's some fucked up shit in there. They're bad.
Apparently you can still buy them somewhere. Lucky Strike still makes an unfiltered Camel and American Spirit, but I've never, even when I worked at a gas station, we didn't sell unfiltereds. So I don't know where you'd even find them.
Yeah, I can't think of I've been to a couple tobacco stores and never.
Oh yeah, I never even thought of tobacco stores. Next time I go to a tobacco store for other things, maybe I'll ask just to see if they even have them.
Yeah. You guys got non-filters?
$2.
Fucking, I'm in.
So moving on to the, I'll say the into the 1920s, into the 50s. In 1928, a German physicist whose name I also like, Fritz Lickint, published early research linking smoking to cancer. Everyone thought he was nuts, and they beat the fuck out of him. They didn't really beat the fuck out of him.
Hey, get out of here, you quack.
I don't remember. I think he wasn't. It was kind of like the guy. It wasn't to this degree, but you remember? Have you ever heard the story about the guy who realized that hand washing was important for medical procedures?
I think so.
The man was institutionalized. So we have this thing about don't tell us that's unhealthy. So
right, that's telling me I'm wrong, and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's as American as apple pie, my friend. Mask? What do I gotta wear a mask? Anyway, 1950.
I ain't wearing no fucking chin diaper.
Chin diaper. In 1950, British research. So it took the Brits to come around to let us know. This guy's name I like also. When you hear it, you might know why. Richard Dahl is his name. I don't like it because, it's the name of the fictional detective on our other podcasts that I've heard of. It's because Dick is short for Richard, so Dick Dahl is hilarious.
Dick Dahl.
Dick Dahl. Oh, shit. I scrolled up in my notes by accident. Back down. And another researcher named Austin Bradford Hill confirmed that Dr. Linkett was right. There is a link between smoking and cancer. And the industry reacted by trying to undercut this and trying to say it's not true. They tried to cast doubt on the emerging science, and basically, in the way that they helped create the advertising boom, they also helped create future corporate disinformation campaigns by introducing low tar cigarettes, menthol cigarettes, which are safer. Filters. The filters to help this filters out the cancer. but of course, none of these things are, help. And later research would even show that many of the low tar cigarettes were manipulated using ventilation holes to trick testing machines, because there were testing machines to measure tar and nicotine. And of course, these were just used to get around and say, oh yeah, these are low tar.
See?
So they manipulated it, of course. And it wasn't until 1964 that the U.S. Surgeon General the U.S. Surgeon Generals, you know what? Fuck it, we're moving on. They declared that smoking causes lung cancer, heart disease, and chronic bronchitis, and the public perception shifted overnight, basically. By 1965, warning labels were mandatory. In 1971, cigarette ads were banned on television in the U.S. And suddenly it was to taboo. So, that whole thing about how conspiracies even work, because if one person knows, everyone's going to find out. You know, that whole deal. You can't keep a secret with that many people involved, I guess, is the basic principle.
Yeah.
This is a good example of it. Because in the 1980s through the 90s, internal documents began to come out revealing that these companies knew that nicotine was addictive, they knew it caused cancer, and they knew that the youth marketing helped increase profits. So everything that they were telling, or everything that was bad, they were denying or whatever, that revealed that they knew the whole time. And even in Congress in 1994, some tobacco CEOs testified that nicotine was not addictive. Their internal memos proved that they knew this was a lie.
You fucking dirty rats.
And around this time also, Camel mascot Joe Camel was under fire because it was shown through, whatever kind of research they did, that he strongly appealed to children. So,
yeah, he's a camel wearing sunglasses and a denim fucking jacket. That's cool as shit.
Yeah.
They were wearing that fucking rider jacket. Aviators.
This is
cigarette hanging out his mouth.
Droopy nose because of the cancer. Jawline like John Cena. I remember that candle.
Hell of a guy.
I have no idea what his jawline looks like. Anyway, that's the only iconic jawline I can think of off the top of my head right now. In 1997, the Federal Trade Commission charged R.J. Reynolds with this, what ended up being the civil suit. 46 states sued tobacco companies for all this shit they did. They had to pay collectively over $200+ billion.
Oh.
Cartoon advertising was banned, so no longer could Fred Flintstone try to get people to enjoy cigarettes. Major marketing. Yeah, that's I forgot exactly what the brand was. That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Winston's. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty positive now that you said it.
Dave on, would you like a Winston?
They had major marketing restrictions after this, and of course, funding for anti-smoking campaigns had to become prevalent. And for what it's worth, youth smoking rates dropped dramatically in the following decades after that. So,
all right, good.
Yeah,
they can.
And even even into modern days, regulations, smoking has kind of fallen out of fashion in most developed countries because of these. In some countries there's some really graphic warnings, like pictures of diseased lungs and stuff, or just plain packaging. There's indoor smoking bans now, and higher age limits. Good. I think the age limits just changed 5 years ago here in this area. It's a nationwide thing, I think.
It was the first Trump administration, I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. I think it was around that time.
Raised it from 18 to 21.
And of course, the e-cigarettes emerged in the mid 2000s. Didn't look very cool at all.
No, but goddamn, dude, you want to talk about a fucking pandemic? I mean, you can't go nowhere without seeing people vaping.
Oh yeah, you see it everywhere. And really, I mean, I was reading, like I said here, that smoking rates fell. But has anyone? I didn't really look into it, to be honest, because it wasn't about that. But you just raised a good question. I wonder if the e-cigarettes, the vapes, what those look like in comparison. Like if we were to add all of them together, what would did it really go down? I guess is the question I'm asking.
Right, right. Like, did people just switch over to vapes because they smell better and they're less stigmatized, I guess? But the other parts from that cigarette lawsuit sound like they apply a lot to vapes. 'Cause I mean,
That's true. Yeah.
you know, you hear about all the time kids in fucking school get caught with vapes and shit. In fucking 6th grade. It's like, what is going on, man? Come on. I was at least in 8th grade. I was almost a man.
I didn't know a cigar until I was already a man. Let's go over some top 5 facts. So that's the end of our timeline today, which I did not flesh out as well as I thought I did. So sorry about that, but there was still some fun stuff in here.
All right, top 5 facts. Let's go.
Top 5 facts. Number 1.
Number 1.
Cigarette cards helped popularize baseball statistics in the late 1800s. So, yeah.
Well, were they like baseball cards that came with the cigarettes?
Yeah, the early
that's
baseball cards. And statistics weren't really interesting to most people until it started becoming a thing. Like everyone had those. Number 2, and this one's pretty fucking dark.
Number 2.
The Marlboro Man actors, or at least 4 of them, all died from smoking-related illnesses.
Imagine that.
Yeah. In World War... Or number 3, sorry. Didn't give you your
Number
chance.
3.
In World War II, cigarettes were sometimes used as a type of battlefield currency, which is still used in prisons and, I'm sure, schools, nunneries, whorehouses, and places like that. They still use it as currency.
Right on.
Number 4.
What would you do for a cigarette?
That works too well with that.
Right? Damn.
That's going to be stuck in my head for a couple of days.
Number 4.
Number 4. Cigarette companies once sponsored early television shows and news broadcasts. I originally didn't have these written in there because I made that comment about Fred Flintstone. But yeah, this was originally not in the main storyline.
Hey, Bon, would you like a Winston? Sure, Fred.
Number 5.
Number 5.
The modern anti-smoking graphic warning label movement began in Canada. They were the ones that first started doing the really graphic ones before it started spreading. Yeah, just in case you were wondering who to blame for that.
Yeah, I remember seeing a lot of those. Like the one that sticks in my head is like the brain that they like cut open, and there's like the blood clots and shit, and then
so brutal.
Yeah, there was also the Truth. I remember that movement.
Oh yeah. I remember
it had
that
the different factoids. It wasn't as graphic, so I mean, but I think by that point you don't necessarily need it.
No.
You know, because people know, like, yeah, I'm probably gonna get cancer from smoking these. Oh well.
Let's go over some. I know normally the top 5 facts is like the end of the episode. We're not there yet. I got some interesting stuff here.
Okay.
What the Maya smoked versus what we smoke today.
Yes.
So the Maya smoked primarily a strain of tobacco called Nicotiana rustica. The modern commercial genus is Nicotana tabacum. Tobacco. So the big differences was that the nicotine content in the the Maya tobacco was pretty high, probably as high as or higher than 9%. Today, an average cigarette is between 1 and 3%. And this is, of course, just off of stuff we found. There's no way to be sure, But this is what scientists and archaeologists say, so I'm going to have to believe them. Also, this is where things get really dramatic. The differences in chemicals. The Maya tobacco was just dried tobacco leaves, sometimes mixed with some herbs. And of course, no additives such as, industrial or chemical. But the modern cigarette, it doesn't say. I would assume probably just regular herbs, not that kind of herb.
They're just boring herbs.
Now, modern cigarettes may contain reconstituted tobacco, added sugars rather, ammonia compounds, flavor additives, propylene glycol. I don't know what that is, but it sounds tasty. Paper that's engineered to control the burn rate, and a cellulose acetate filter. Yeah.
All those words sound scary and dangerous.
They do.
Didn't cigarette butts used to have cigarette butts? Cigarette filters?
Asbestos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing as best as I can.
Nasty stuff.
So the Maya tobacco definitely contained more nicotine. Probably, there's some people I've read some places that it may have even been strong enough to induce hallucinations. The way they'd inhale it, it's possible that it was more immediately intoxicating, like it hits you faster.
Right. Absorption rate and shit like that.
Yeah, because we add so much stuff to them now, and plus with filters and all that, it may not hit as much. It's basically the same species of plant, it's just different, potently wise, and how we treat it.
Yeah.
Like
so
if you were
less nicotine.
Yeah.
Now.
Like if you were to go back and smoke one back then, it would hit you like a ton of bricks. If they were to hit one now, they'd call us a bunch of pussies.
You'd be like, what the fuck is this?
And now on to something that's related but unrelated. In the Behind the Bastards podcast, they talked about this a little bit, so I wanted to go over it. Now, keep in mind, this is nothing proven. This is all kind of some fun thought experiment. That it's possible that cigarettes may have played a role in some way in spontaneous human combustion. So, we're going back to like the 1800s, right? When gasoline was commonly used as a not commonly, in some cases used as a way to get to clean your clothes, and in many ways one of the main uses was factory workers would use it to get the oil out of their work clothes.
Ooh.
Now. Yeah, gasoline apparently gets rid of it very well, but gasoline does a couple other things pretty well too, like start a fire. Now, them being like that was the type of class that would be likely to use cigarettes. Yeah. So, another important thing to see wasn't the cigarettes that were actually causing it; it's the device they would use to smoke, to light up said cigarette. Matches were not very stable back then. They were phosphorus.
Oh, no.
The slightest bump could light a match.
Oh. They're like those strike anywhere match types.
Worse than that. Like it wouldn't... taking one out of your pocket could theoretically light it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so combine that with people wearing clothes that have been soaked in gasoline... And
I see where this is going.
Yeah, that's where it's believed some cases of alleged spontaneous human combustion may have started. Because another thing that's important to know is that the way a body burns, because they did tests on this, and I read into it. It was very, very morbidly fascinating. The body fat of any animal, mammal, person, animal, whatever, burns differently than, say, a piece of wood or a structure.
Okay.
Fat just burns differently, and because of the way it burns, it doesn't look natural when something like that happens. So they believe that may have been part of it. Is it looks like someone may have been burned from the inside when the fact is, or from the inside out when the fact is it burns strangely. So
Okay.
there's been studies on how bodies burn and stuff, and I'm not going to go into all that because it's not really important. It's just fun to read about. It's fun to.
But like that phenomenon maybe emerged around that time.
I mean, I haven't done the idea of spontaneous human combustion scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah. Right.
Because there's no reason for it. But how often? When's the last time you heard of anybody combusting spontaneously? It's an older thing, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard it in a long time.
Yeah, so I feel like it's not as big as a risk as I assumed it would be.
Right, it's right up there with quicksand in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
And knowing stop, drop, and roll.
Here's another thing interesting. Well, not interesting, but another thing to keep in mind. Cigarettes in the mid to early 1900s were also already the leading cause of fatal fires. So they were already causing problems. So just add gasoline treated clothing into it, and there you go.
Right, because there's stuff in cigarettes now that, like, if you don't smoke on it, it extinguishes itself.
Oh,
It'll
really?
just go out. Yeah.
To prevent forest fires, because
Right. The bear.
That's what Smokey told me.
His
Well-
name was Smokey. And he's
His
like,
name was
"Yeah,
Smokey.
don't do it."
Smokey
I hate
the smoking
smoke,
bear.
I actually
Well-
hate smoke.
Well, that's all I got. It's getting rather hot in here, though. I'm going to turn off my heater. So, you got anything to add?
Yeah, don't smoke. If you're tempted, don't do it. If
you're
you
gonna smoke-
currently, quit today.
If you're going to smoke a pork butt.
Right, smoke a nice brisket.
Oh, yeah.
Smoke
No,
a
not.
bowl.
And that's all. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah.
come on.
I think, and just in case you're still here with us, I think something has happened to our chat because there's people here, but no one's commenting, and that could be because there's some issues. We've had some issues with the chat all night. So sorry if you're trying to talk. We aren't ignoring you. We just don't see you.
Yeah, we do apologize for the delay, and your comments are welcome and appreciated, and we love you.
And it's definitely a third-party issue, and hopefully it'll be fixed by next week. But anyway, we're going to hit that outro, so see you guys next Tuesday.
See, it's not the cough that carries you off, it's the coffin they carry you off in.
Wow.
Very profound, sir, very profound.
I wonder when when he commented that. All right, guys. Yeah, we just had one comment just come through for the first time in like 15 minutes. All right, guys. Have a great night. See you next Tuesday.
For real this time.
Oh, no. Shit. No, not yet. We haven't done it.
Oh, yeah. We haven't done it. What we not do? In the unforgiving land of Chernarus, survival is not just a game, but a choice. And like every choice, there are consequences. Welcome to DayZ EU PvE/PvP, a whitelist-only sanctuary built for survivors who want a little more than just the chaos. Here you'll find builder sheds, full vehicles, medical hubs, dark traders and auto traders who are ready to keep you moving. Weekly events will test your grit. PvE zones keep the peace, while PvP zones keep the adrenaline pumping. And every 2 weeks, the purge begins. What truly sets this world apart? Well, a non-toxic community where teamwork thrives. And active, fair admins who keep the wasteland balanced, honest, and fun for everybody. No base rating, no drama, just pure survival. Your way. Now, if you're ready to build something real, if you're ready to fight for every can, every bullet, every waking breath, then step out of the dark and into our world. Join us on the Discord. DayZ/PvE. Survive with honor. Fight with purpose. And if you're lucky, live to tell the story. God, I remember when I had a top lip.
I almost forgot to give a shout out to our favorite DayZ server. So
Never gonna. Never. If you're on there, if you guys are listening right now, well, I guess I don't really have to say this next part to you who are listening in Chernars, but make sure you tune into 99.7, the House of Chaos with Paul the Mad Hatter, for some awesome, wicked, post-apocalyptic metal tunes. All right, I'm telling you, folks, if you haven't drove with a fucking radio playing some metal, it's fucking awesome. I fist fought a zombie earlier while listening to music. It was pretty fucking awesome.
I really, just to be funny, I had my mouse hovering over the end stream, and I was gonna, as soon as you said I fist fight, my brain immediately was like, oh, hit end right now. So
I fist.
Yeah, and then it would just cut off and gone to the last. Oh, anyway, have a great night, guys. I'm tired apparently.
All right, love you.